Imagine you're 10 years old, getting ready to walk to school. But when you step outside, you start to cough. The air is so filled with smog that you can barely breathe. But you still have to get to school. So you walk through it every single day. Now, imagine that you're the same 10-year-old, only a couple of years older, and you're at the doctor's office. You've been having trouble breathing, so you undergo some tests, only to find out that you've been diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, asthma, or even lung cancer, all before the age of 20. All because of the smog you had to walk through every day. Air pollution from companies burning non-renewable resources is one of the leading causes for respiratory disease in children and young adults. But respiratory diseases are not the only effects of burning these non-renewable resources. The fuels are poisoning our atmosphere and destroying our ecosystems. We are killing our Earth more and more every year. We won't be able to quickly fix this, but all of you can help slow this. In January of 2020, scientists made an addition to the doomsday clock, putting us less than 100 seconds away from a man-made, possibly world-ending event. The doomsday clock represents how close we are to one of those events, and we are closer than we have ever been because of climate change. We are rapidly approaching the threshold of leaving our environment and air irreparable because of the carbon emissions that burning those non-renewable resources cause. By voting to pass this legislation, you can help our future generations. This bill makes it mandatory for tech companies to adopt a form of renewable energy instead of their non-renewable energy alternatives. Tech companies could use solar, wind, hydroelectric, or even fission energy. Tech companies are some of the highest contributors to carbon emissions and air pollution. Outside of the US, China is one of the most affected areas of this type of air pollution. The air is thick with smog, and it is difficult for most residents to even breathe. Over 100 million residents of China have developed respiratory diseases because of the pollution. Do we want to turn out like that as well? Well, the fact of the matter is we're already almost there. With more than 141 million people being affected by the smog in the city of Los Angeles alone. People with prior respiratory issues are trying to move out of the city, and people that have developed these issues are moving as well. And what about Flint, Michigan? The water hasn't been safe for residents to drink in years. The US is already being severely affected by pollution, and it is only going to get worse from here on out. Imagine that 10-year-old I mentioned earlier. Now imagine that it was your child. They are suffering because tech companies are burning enough non-renewable resources to leave a perpetual smog in the air, causing a majority of the population to develop respiratory disease. Rates of lung cancer and asthma are skyrocketing, and the quality of life is significantly decreasing. Do we really want that for our children? This isn't just to look good or gain support for these companies. This is for the generations that come after us, setting them up to have a life with less pollution and worry, letting them live their lives to the fullest. Isn't that what we all want? So vote this bill. Vote this bill and contribute to saving the earth for future generations.